This isn't the video I wanted to make today. 2 weeks ago, I inadvertently clicked on a phishing link, PH, that allowed someone to take complete control of my YouTube channel. I realised what had happened almost immediately, but the problem was I had absolutely no idea what to do next. Within less than 1 minute, I'd lost access to the account, the password had been changed, my recovery email had been changed, my recovery phone number had been changed, and two-factor authentication had been turned off and reset with different details. Shortly after that, my entire YouTube channel disappeared. It had been taken over to run a cryptocurrency scam live stream, and YouTube removed the channel completely. For 13 days, the channel was gone, apparently completely removed. And during that time, I discovered something that really surprised me. Even if you realise immediately that your YouTube channel has been hacked, it can be incredibly difficult to figure out what you're supposed to do next. This was made even worse by the fact that during the process I received an email from Google telling me my account couldn't be restored and I'd lost it forever. I'll come back to that later. So in this video I want to explain what happened, how the hack worked, what the recovery process was and what it was like, and most importantly what you can do to protect yourself from it, or what you can do if it happens to you. Because this was honestly the most stressful experience I've had in the 3 years of running this channel, and I hope it never happens to you or anyone else. So how did it happen? Like many YouTubers, once my channel got to a certain size, I began to be approached for doing brand deals or collaborations. I've been involved with Sibio doing the continuous ketone monitors. I've had other brand deals. Walking Pad UK wanted to send me a treadmill so that I could do a review on it, which I'll be doing a full review of that shortly. So I've been getting reached out to quite a lot by people who are asking if I'm interested in doing collaborations. So getting another collaboration email wasn't unusual, and this one didn't look any different from any of the others. It asked me to register with a website, this website, and as part of the process it asked me to link my YouTube channel, which I had thought was normal process, having done it with some other collaborations. Nothing about it looked immediately suspicious. I should tell you, I'm not an idiot. I'm cautious. I googled I googled the website to see if there was anything dodgy about it, and there was no indication that it was a problem website. But what I didn't realise at the time was how I was connecting to my YouTube channel was actually giving them permission to access my channel. And once that permission was granted, attackers were able to take complete control of the channel. Frustrating thing is, if I'd understood just one detail of this, what made this different from other brand deals, it would never have happened. I'll explain that later. So I granted access to my YouTube channel, and I would say in less than a minute, my phone began to buzz, and in less than 1 minute, the messages I was getting told me my password had been changed, my recovery email had been changed, my recovery phone number had been changed, and two-factor authentication had been turned off and reset. So when I tried to log in to sort that, I couldn't log in. At that point, it became clear someone else had complete control of my Gmail account, and therefore my YouTube channel. But the real problem wasn't the hack itself. The real problem was how difficult it was to find out what to do about it. I obviously went straight on to Google, what do I do if my account has been hacked? Every single option it gave me was to use the recovery process, which had been changed, or to log into my account and connect to support, which I couldn't do. No matter what I typed in to say, what do I do if I don't have access to my account? It was this internal little loop that just took you nowhere, because it just kept taking you back to the account recovery process, which required you to be able to log in, or it required you to have access to the recovery email, which had been changed. Because my YouTube account is monetized, I have access to partnership support, which the only way of accessing is when I'm logged into my Gmail account. So I couldn't even access YouTube partner support. So I was stuck in this weird situation of the account being gone, couldn't access it, and the official recovery options didn't work. And that was the point where I genuinely didn't know what to do. This was all within 20 minutes of giving access to this website. And I was suddenly faced with the possibility that I was going to lose 3 years of work, hundreds of videos, more than 17,000 subscribers, and over 2 million views gone. So I started searching for other advice online, and that's when I decided I would try ChatGPT. Now I'm going to say this from begin. I'm going to say this right at the outset. Say what you like about AI. I don't think I'd have got my channel back if it wasn't for the help of ChatGPT. ChatGPT is what got me through this. And I'll explain that now. The first thing that happened when I said to ChatGPT, what happens if this happens, is it sounded like you've been the victim of a phishing attack. Can you log into YouTube with a different ID, which I did have a different ID, and find your channel and see if there's a live stream running, which I thought was a weird thing for it to ask me to do. But sure enough, I went to YouTube, Fat Old Climber, up it came, live stream. And it was a cryptocurrency live stream run by Tesla, apparently, starting in 20 minutes. So the attackers had taken control so that they could run this scam live stream, which ChatGPT says is a very common thing for them to do. So it was suggested that I contact some people and get them to log into YouTube, go to the live stream and report it as a scam. So I emailed a few folk, WhatsApped a few folk, and then I thought I'll go into Instagram. I've got 3,500 followers on Instagram, and I did a story asking people to do that. And it worked within 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Checked the live stream, and the live stream had been taken down. Result, I thought. By the way, thanks to everyone who reported this. It really helped. So as I say, within 15 minutes, the live stream had been taken down. But not long after that, when I checked, the whole channel had disappeared with a message saying this channel has been removed. To say I was panicky when I saw that's an understatement, but it turns out this was a good thing because it was an indication that they had seen the live stream, taken it down, and put the channel on hold, which meant hijackers didn't have access to it either. But I had no idea how to get it back. So, when you don't have access to your account, when you can't log into your account to do the normal process or ask for support normally, turns out the only way to report anything like this about YouTube is through Twitter or X, whatever it's called these days. And so I had to send a tweet to @Team YouTube to say, and ChatGPT gave me the wording, my channel has been a victim of I can't remember what it was called. I'll put it up here. It was running a crypto live stream, but it has now been taken down, and I need you to contact me. Result, I thought, this is all less than an hour since the hijacking happened. So at this point, the situation was this. The channel was gone. I couldn't access the account. The normal recovery process isn't working, and I had no idea if YouTube knew the channel had been hacked, or whether they thought I was just running a cryptocurrency scam. So the recovery process was not quick. Every step seemed to take days. My initial tweet to Team YouTube resulted in them getting back to me relatively quickly, I would say within an hour or two, to say, can you follow us so that we can send you a DM? ChatGPT telling me the DM would be them looking for another way to contact me, a safe email address, so to speak, so that they would send me a form to fill in. So I duly followed them, sent them a message to say, I've followed you. 3 days it took for me to get this DM, and that was after 2 reminders. I was raging, and every time I went to do something, I checked with ChatGPT, and ChatGPT calmed me down. Don't answer emotionally, just ask for an update. But it took 3 days before I got a DM to say, and the DM was just asking for confirmation of the channel ID and what a safe email address was. So I gave them that. They were now 3 days into it. The idea being I would be contacted in that email address with a form to fill in by Google. That took 3 days. That took another 3 days, 4 days, before I actually got the form to fill in. And the weird thing is, the form was looking for information I didn't have access to because I didn't have access to the channel. So it took a long time for me to find the information I needed just to fill in the form. But I filled in the form and sat back and waited. And the whole process, at times it felt like I was progressing. At times it felt like I was taking 3 steps back. And at one point, 10 days in, so now they've got the information and they've told me they're investigating it. I got an email to say that they couldn't restore the account at all. I was horrified. they were basically telling me I had lost everything. Now, I went on to ChatGPT, told them I'd had this email, and it said, don't worry, this must be an error. I thought, well, that's good of you to say, but apparently it was possible there was some confusion about my accounts and which account I was using, and they said it's more than likely a template email that's been sent out in error, and told me how to follow up on it, which I did. And sure enough, within a day of that email, I got a message to say my Gmail account had been reinstated, and log in and change my password and reset up all the security, which I duly did. And to say I was relieved, I can't even tell you how relieved I was. I logged in, I immediately turned on two-factor authentication. I'll talk about that at the end. And I thought, solved. We're now at day 11. So I duly went to the YouTube channel, still said this YouTube channel has been removed. But this time there was a button that said, click here to start investigation. Now, ChatGPT says the initial process that I'd been following was about the Google account, my Gmail account, and the investigation for the YouTube channel hadn't really even started. And because as far as they were concerned, they had brought the channel down because of this cryptocurrency scam that had been reported. I honestly thought, this has been 10 days, this has been 11 days, is it going to take another 11 days? But the advice was, keep a calm head, click on the button, it'll ask me some things, it asked me some things, pretty much all the things I'd already told Google, but apparently this was going to a different department, and I just had to wait. And again, I was waiting thinking, there's no end in sight, this could take weeks, and I still didn't know whether I would get the channel back. So then I woke up one morning looking for a response email from Google to tell me it had all been solved. Nothing. We're now on day 13, and I was on Instagram having my coffee, and I had a couple of messages from followers that had reached out to say, glad to see your channel's back. And I went, and sure enough, when I went to my channel, it was there. Google hadn't bothered telling me they'd reinstated it. In fact, it took them another 5 or 6 hours after I had been in there and saw it was back for them to tell me they had reinstated it, and everything was fine now, and took advice about what to do. So from start to finish, it was just under 13 days of hell, during which point I thought, I've wasted 3 years of my life. And I was getting constant messages from people. Thank you again for everyone that reached out with trying to find out what was happening, finding out if I was okay. But I was getting constant messages saying, what's happened to you? Where are you? Are you okay? So what are the conclusions? What have I learned, and what should you do? The main thing is about protection. I'll talk a bit more about the phishing email in a second. But the main thing is about protection is make sure you have a recovery email. Make sure you have two-factor authentication. What that means is, in case you don't know, is if you try and log in to your Google account from a device you haven't used before, from a device that you haven't told it is safe, it won't just let you log in. The two-factor authentication will be something like you'll have to get a text message, or you'll have to get another device. So if I log on anywhere unusual, my iPad asks me, is this you? Or I get a text message. So turn that on and basically secure everything. Make sure your password is strong. I changed my password to a stronger password, not that it was a particularly weak password. And that's the main thing. Protection is the main thing. The phishing email is unusual. It was when I looked back at other collaboration deals I'd been involved in, I realised that any of them that I'd asked for access to my account hadn't asked for access. They'd asked for what my YouTube channel's name was, or what the channel ID was, and that was all. And it didn't strike me at the time, but this one asked me to log into my channel, and that's a no-no. There's no reason for me to log into my channel in another system. All they need to get the information or the data or the connection is the name, and that was a big learning point for me. Am I going to be wary about other collaboration invites? Of course I am, but I think I'm safe as long as I realise I should be never giving anyone my login details, even inadvertently. So as a final message, again, I want to reach out to everyone that helped report the scam live stream and everyone that reached out offering their support or trying to find out what had happened. It genuinely means a lot. And if all I can say, if sharing this experience helps anyone, creator or not, avoid going through the same thing, it's a video worth making. And all that needs to be said is now that everything's back, now that the channel's back, normal service can be resumed. So watch out for videos coming in the next few days, climbing and Manjaro related. As usual, I've been Gordon, Fat Old Climber. Thanks for listening, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.